Have you ever wondered why the first black women lawyers in America had to hide their identities just to enter law school? Follow if you've never heard this story. Because the earliest black women attorneys didn't just break barriers. They walked through doors that were locked, bolted, and guarded. And sometimes they had to trick the system just to get inside. The woman who signed her name in code. The story begins in 1872 with Charlotte E. Ray. Ray wanted to study law at Howard University School of Law, but there was a problem. The school discouraged women from enrolling, so Charlotte Ray applied using only her initials, C.E. Ray. No first name, no gender, just letters. By the time administrators realized the applicant was a woman, she was already enrolled. In February 1872, she graduated and became the first black woman lawyer in American history and the first woman admitted to the District of Columbia Bar. Imagine the moment. A courtroom in Washington, D.C., men in suits, judges behind wooden benches, and a black woman walking in as an attorney. But here's the irony. Ray was brilliant. She specialized in corporate law. She advertised her services in the newspaper founded by Frederick Douglass. Yet clients refused to hire her. Why? Because she was both black and a woman. Eventually, the discrimination forced her to close her law practice. The first black woman lawyer in American history had the credentials, but not the opportunity, so she returned to teaching. History remembers her. But the legal system she helped pioneer did not reward her. The judge who changed the bench fast forward nearly 70 years. The courtroom doors were still heavy, still guarded. But another woman was about to step through them. Her name was Jane Bolin. Jane Bolin was born in 1908 in Poughkeepsie, New York. Her father was one of the first black lawyers in the region. From childhood, she watched him argue cases in court. She also watched the prejudice he faced, judges who dismissed him, opposing attorneys who ignored him, clients who doubted him. But instead of discouraging her, it sharpened her determination. Jane Bolin graduated from Yale Law School in 1931, one of the very few black women in the country with a law degree. Then came the historic moment. In 1939, New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia summoned her to City Hall. Bolin expected a routine meeting. Instead, LaGuardia escorted her directly to a courtroom. There, before she fully understood what was happening, she was sworn in as a judge. At age 31, Jane Bolin became the first black woman judge in the United States. Her courtroom focused on family and juvenile justice, and she transformed it. She ended segregation in probation departments. She insisted on equal treatment for children regardless of race. She served on the bench for 40 years, 4 decades of quiet revolution inside the justice system. The woman who took civil rights to court. Then came another legal pioneer, one who argued not just individual cases, but the future of civil rights. Her name was Constance Baker Motley. Motley grew up in New Haven, Connecticut during the Great Depression. Her parents were immigrants from the Caribbean. Money was scarce, but talent was obvious. A local philanthropist recognized her potential and helped pay her college tuition. That investment changed American history. Motley joined the legal team of NAACP Legal Defense Fund. There she worked alongside legendary attorney Thurgood Marshall. Motley quickly became one of the most formidable civil rights lawyers in the country. She argued 10 cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. She won 9 of them. Her victories helped dismantle segregation across the United States, schools, housing, public accommodations. Her legal strategy helped enforce the historic Brown versus Board of Education ruling. Then came another first. In 1966, Constance Baker Motley became the first black woman federal judge in American history. She presided over cases involving housing discrimination, voting rights, and employment equality. The courtroom she entered was no longer forbidden territory, but the road there had been brutal. The pattern of resistance. When you look closely at these stories, a pattern emerges. Black women didn't simply join the legal profession. They had to force the profession to acknowledge them. Charlotte Ray had to disguise her identity. Jane Bolin had to outwork an entire generation of skeptics. Constance Baker Motley had to argue cases that would reshape the nation. And they did it while facing 3 simultaneous barriers. Race, gender power. In many courtrooms, they were the only black person, the only woman, sometimes both. The irony of justice. There's an irony that runs through this history. These women devoted their lives to the legal system, a system that often refused to treat them fairly. They defended justice, while fighting injustice personally. But their presence changed the system from within. Each victory expanded the possibility for the next generation. Today, thousands of black women serve as attorneys, judges, prosecutors, and law professors. But the path began with women who had no guarantee the door would ever open. The legacy today. When a black woman enters a courtroom as a lawyer or judge, she stands on the shoulders of pioneers like Charlotte Ray, Jane Bolin, Constance Baker Motley, women who refused to accept that justice belonged only to someone else. They studied when schools discouraged them. They argued cases when courts doubted them. They ruled from the bench when society said they could not. Their victory wasn't just personal. It reshaped the American legal system. Subscribe and comment if you'd like to hear more about black women legal pioneers, and go to my videos to see more. We don't glorify injustice. We reveal truth, so history can't repeat itself.